if y'all do it this way, but I shoot a Ithaca that kind of it's a push through. So I like put my one finger on the
Yeah.
side, the other finger on the back, and like slowly push it.
Yeah.
Uh, this little thing, and that Mossberg was the worst because they were really hard to
Oh
like
yeah.
click.
Yeah, that's what I use in my I have my Mossberg that I use now, and that's this. It's like, yeah, I'm like trying to like put pressure on it so it like slowly goes up and then just like shoots up and makes a loud noise whenever you take it off the safety there. But
Yeah.
835.
yep,
Yeah, 3.5 inch mag, baby.
yes, yes, sir.
Shoulder breaker when that shoulder's pinned against a tree. That's one of the most menacing. The only thing that was worse than that, when I first moved to the mountains, I wanted a lightweight gun, and I started hunting with a 12 gauge 3-inch single shot, and just because it weighed nothing. But dude, that thing would unhinge your body when you shot turkey loads out of that thing. Because like when I first got it, I didn't put a recoil pad on it. And because there's no gas that comes out anywhere else but the front, so it just rocks that thing back. I like that gun though. I miss that gun.
Yeah, no, that the Mossberg 835. I hate shooting that in with my 3.5s. It's like, I'll get a couple with some target loads at first, just kind of get it out of the system, and then you put it in. I'm like, I really hope I make a good shot here because this thing's just gonna rock you. Like, you don't really feel it when you're obviously shooting a turkey because, like, at least I don't. Like, I don't even hear the shot. It just everything just happens. But you when you make a mistake and you don't have it on the right spot on your shoulder or you're against a tree, you feel it afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're not trying to shoot them at 75 yards, you can go down to like a 20 gauge, and you don't have to have TSS. Like I started shooting a 20 gauge about 8 years ago, I think. And I shot just regular lead, Longbeard XRs up until this year. And I did shoot this bird with TSS, and I am an advocate for killing better. I mean, that thing, I shot that bird. That sucker, his neck went back. You ever seen him? They just put that neck down and fall over. That was really what happened. And then he had a little bit of a death flop that rolled him down the mountain. Like it rolled down the mountain like a dang. That's the fun part about mountain turkey hunting. It rolled down the mountain like a doll sheet after you shoot them.
Yeah. That's funny. No, I don't know. I never really got much into different loads or guns. Like I've been using the same gun for the last 10 years, and I always shot the heavy shot 3-inch. That's what I was using. And then that was like got hard to find and expensive, and I just went with the Longbeard XRs, and that's what I've been using, 3.5s at this point.
Nasty.
But yeah, they tend to do the job. But I don't know, I never got into it like with archery where I get like finicky in my arrows and broadheads and all this stuff, and I just turkey hunt is kind of like I pick up the gun, I shoot it, make sure it shoots good, and then I go out in the woods and kind of hunt with it. And whether that's embarrassing to say or not, that's just kind of what I've done.
So I got a question for you. So how is your granddaddy a call maker and you can't call?
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, who said I can't call? I can call.
Well, but you said all you use a box call. I mean,
I don't only
no
use
offense, get a box
call.
Oh, okay. But you've told me you said you're not really like a really good turkey caller.
No, I mean I'm not like terrible, but I'm not great either. I don't practice with it. Is probably where like I haven't touched my mouth call yet, and the season opens here in 2 days. So like that's just, I don't know. I don't take it as serious, and I don't have a problem of putting that out there and saying it. But I use a whole bunch of different calls and slates, like the ones he made where he didn't make mouth calls. He made different slate calls, and the one that he has was like a cylinder. And I'll have to show you guys them sometime. But it just has a tiny little slate on it, and then the other half you pull it out, and it's an owl hooter. So it slides into each other. It's pretty cool.
Did it have like a little peg on it?
Yeah.
Small peg?
Yeah, that came out, and they were called Frank's turkey calls. So he, what do you think, you might have one?
No, I don't have one, but a dude showed me a little caller because it's bigger, about the size of a sand dollar or smaller, right?
Yeah.
The slate part.
Yep.
Yeah. No, a dude showed me one of those. I can't remember where he got it, but he showed me one of those one time.
Yeah, he made them in 2 different sizes. Like he made a real small one that was like, I don't know, about 3 inches long, and then, 1.5 inches around as far as the diameter. And then he made some ones that were longer, ones too. So there was a couple different models that he had there, and so I carry one of those with me. I carry like a bigger slate, and then I carry that. It's like a real soft, quiet sound that it puts out, and that's what he uses a lot. And he taught me how to run that. I can run that pretty decent. It's just some of the other calls I just don't mess around with as much.
I like a box call. I just don't carry one much because it's just like it's bulky to carry and it's hard to silence. Like we're bushwhacking, and like that's a problem with like turkey vests to me too. They're all too bulky, running around, and just I don't know. I think Jordan and I we really live and breathe like true run and gun turkey hunting.
Yeah. No, I always had a problem with silencing them too, until with that Sitka vest I have for the box call holder, it's so padded around there and holds it tight. It doesn't make a noise when I have it in there. So that makes it really nice, because that's always been the problem. Like I've done where I'll like put stuff in between in it when it's in my, but it's like another step as you're going through. Like I'd put a piece of cloth over it so that it wouldn't make a noise when it's in there, and trying to do things, and it was just like all the other turkey vests. But you guys run more of a kind of like a fanny pack style, or like a hip belt mostly.
Well, it's kind of proprietary, but we like to call it the Ninja Stalker pack. Yeah.
Just make that up. Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
We continued.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be continued.
To be continued. Yeah, we won't want to ask any more questions on that. But you guys run minimalist kind of going. The one thing I do like about vests is, or just like having the ability to be able to put a water bladder in and kind of run when you're going all day. And if you're able to have a modular system where you can add that to a hip belt, because like hip belts are, I think, really awesome for like quick hunts, and being able, you can throw an Nalgene bottle in there, and that's good for probably 90% of them, but if you're going for like all day, I typically like to have a water bladder involved too.
Yeah, I just carry like a 32-ounce Nalgene, but I'm not an all-day turkey hunter. Like I'm usually, if I haven't heard one by noon, if I haven't killed one by noon, I'm pretty much out of there.
See, I need more water than you then, because like I when I say I'm talking about all day, I'm talking till noon.
Oh, yeah, I stay hydrated. I usually drink about a gallon a day, or a gallon and a half, but 32 would get me by in a hunt.
You're not old enough yet to be in the generation that didn't need water, is what we call it. Like me and my friends and cousins and stuff are like, man, our dads like go out in the woods like all day, and they carry like a 16-ounce thing of water, and like or they'll be out like shed hunting and put on all these miles, and they don't need a lot of water. And I was like, I need so much water to survive. Like I'd be terrible if I can't find water. Like on backcountry hunts where I like have struggle finding water, I carry so much. In Montana this last year in my elk hunt, I was carrying 5 liters at all times. Like I had a 3-liter bladder and 2 Nalgenes, because like I don't know, I need water.
Yeah, I mean, from being an endurance athlete for so long, I've just been like, I've trained myself just to sip all the time, especially on those long backpack hunts. Like like if you dehydrate, it's going to take you a couple days to recover from that. Yeah,
and I guess another tip like that I've learned from people is like, and you probably know way better than me, Jason, but it's just like always staying hydrated, like, the night before, and doing that. So like, you're not needing to feel like once you start, exerting energy, that you need to just be sucking down, 16 ounces at a time.
Yeah. I mean, what I usually do is, and I didn't bring it this trip because I didn't think it was going to be that hot, but it actually ended up being a little warm some days. But I always keep like my Nalgene. If I'm carrying a water bladder and a Nalgene, the Nalgene has electrolyte drink in it, and the bladder's just water. And then every night when I get back to camp, I down a 32-ounce of electrolyte, and I do another one, or at least a half of one in the morning at breakfast, just to kind of stay on top of my electrolytes.
Yeah, that's what I did this trip. I used the Nalgene, and I had electrolyte in mine every day. It was more than warm. I think those. One day it was like 84 degrees. It was hot.
Yeah. Starting out at 40 and going to 84. I mean,
yeah.
What it was.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
when I do hunts where I have like a bladder and an Nalgene, I do the same thing where I'll have like an electrolyte mix what I used to do is like have something with caffeine in it too that was in the bottle. And sometimes I still will do that, but I've also learned that I can have too much caffeine because it tastes good, especially when you like mix it like Mountain Ops Ignite. Like I'd put that in there, and now I just use like the Enduro mix that doesn't have caffeine, but it still like tastes the same because I feel like a lot of times I just like having something that's other than water. So still give you the electrolytes and stuff, but I don't need 200 milligrams of caffeine after just drinking 200 milligrams in the morning. It's just you start defeating the purpose of it at that point.